How does it feel?
Good. Emphasis for us is to protect our home court, and you got to win the first one to win them all at home for sure. And I felt like our team was ready to play at the beginning of the game. They were pretty excited in the locker room and came out hitting on all cylinders. Might have used a little bit too much energy in the first half, or a little bit dead in the third quarter, but overall really pleased with their effort and just the energy they had on the bench and just playing together as a team tonight.
You mentioned a lot of team play. Multiple players were in double figures tonight. So what are your thoughts on just how the team chemistry is working, since there are a lot of new girls on this roster?
Yeah, we're still working on that every day, but the cool thing about this team is they really get along well off the court, and I think it's translating on the court. They really care about each other. They're learning how to trust one another. We had some good extra passes today to get higher percentage shots, so I like the way they shared the ball, and that's something that we'll have to continue doing as we work through our season.
And then one last quick thing. So what do you feel like the team did really good tonight? What do you feel like they excelled at? And what do you want to see the team work on heading into UTSA on Saturday?
One of our biggest core values that we talk about is you have to control the controllables. And that means we're sprinting the floor, we're talking on defense, we're intentional about rebounding on both ends. In the first half, we scored 10 times in our primary break, so we were really running the floor. We've got to continue doing that. I think when we saw defensive lapses, especially in the second half, we weren't communicating. And so, we just want to continue moving forward with those things that we can control. Rebounding was pretty good tonight. We want to make sure that, we're always getting a block out. We've got 5 people doing their job to rebound. But overall, I think they focused on the things that they could control.
Okay. And then, obviously, UTSA giving up a little bit different opponent versus what you guys faced today. So how do you really want the team to prep?
Just be focused in practice and learn the scout as quickly as possible. Tomorrow happens to be our day off, so we need a good day of recovery, then making good decisions on their day off, refueling, getting treatments, and just being ready to come back and learn a scout. We have 8 new players on our team, and so we'll figure out pretty quickly, how they can purge information from one game and then move on to the next game. So that'll just be fun to see, how this team responds to learning a new opponent.
And both of these girls who are in here with us both had really strong performances. You shot really well from the 3-point line. So what are your thoughts on Cam's and Taylor's performance tonight?
Cam and Taylor do a great job of leading our team, and I thought they were shot ready tonight. They work on their shot all the time and are just workhorses. They're in the gym a lot on their own, and in practice, you know what you're going to get from them every day. They work at a very high level, so it was not surprising they had a good scoring night tonight.
Great, thank you.
Well, 36 points in the first quarter. You said it. Good start. Julie good enough team is going to hit threes. They're going to get their free throw line. They're going to get layups. How did it feel to kind of get back to that to start the season?
Yeah, I think our players were really shot ready, especially in the beginning of the game. Our starters did a tremendous job starting the game off well, knocking shots down, getting defensive stops. The first half was about as well as we can play. I think a pretty well-oiled machine where they're sharing the basketball, executing. I thought we helped one another get open off screens. So just a good start. We have a lot we need to work on, a lot that we need to improve on, but I was really proud of the way we started the game.
What was the message to them afterwards when you talked to them about game one? Because it's a long season, isn't it?
Well, there was a comment of, Coach, you should have let her shoot it to get 100 points. And I said, well, you blew that by the way you played in the third quarter. The third quarter, we didn't play as efficiently as we had in the first half. And so, we need to understand time, possession, score, that kind of thing. But my message was I was really proud of them. I thought we played well as a team. You only get one chance to leave a first impression. I felt like we maybe won over some fans today that didn't see us at all last year. We played an exciting brand of basketball, and we hope that our fans will come back on Saturday and cheer us on. So I think it was a good first impression, good first outing for our team, and we're so thankful that it was at home.
Nice to have them back in the stands.
Oh my gosh, so nice to have fans in the stands.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
First game back ever since all the way in March. So how does it feel to be back on the floor playing with your team again?
It's a lot of fun. We have 8 newcomers this year, and so this whole preseason has just been figuring out how to gel, how to communicate, and how to work together out on the floor. And getting to do that in a game, not just the scrimmage, was really fun.
You guys were hitting all sorts of threes. Everybody seems like they hit a 3 tonight. So can you talk about just a little bit like the 3-point performance, not just with you, but with your fellow teammates?
Definitely. So that's one of the things that we take pride in is being shot ready on the three-point line. And in the scout, coach addressed that, they're going to come out with low hands sometimes. Sometimes they weren't going to come all the way out or be in a bad stance. And so if you catch the ball and you have eyes on the rim and they're not taking your shot away, pull the trigger. And that's what we did. We knocked them down. I think we shared the ball really well tonight. And the ball didn't stick a whole lot on offense. And so it was just really fluid motion on offense.
So yeah, again, 8 new players on the team. You guys are honestly probably trying to still get to know each other a little bit. So what was it like finally playing that in a first game environment with your new teammates, and how do you feel like you guys have been gelling so far?
It was super fun. So one thing that we have stressed to each other all week in the locker room, kind of like behind the scenes off the court, is just like, let's play to get each other open. Like we don't need people going to try to score one-on-one and make any big fancy moves. Like I'd like to get a teammate wide open and have fun sharing the ball and scoring in that way. And so the fact that we executed that well tonight was really exciting.
That's all for me for now.
Coaches have raved about your summer and just how good it was, and the kind of that step that they felt like you've taken over the course of the summer coming into the year. What did you feel like your summer was like leading in, and then obviously being able to actually play against somebody else tonight?
So obviously at the end of last year there was a very distasteful taste in our mouths. The season didn't end the way we wanted to. Obviously we come from a program where we have a lot of success year in and year out, and we play for an all-time amazing head coach. And so there was pressure from that, but in all reality, it was just we didn't meet expectations last year, and my summer was about coming out here and meeting expectations. A lot of that had to do with as much competition that was put into our program just this summer. Bringing in 8 new people means that you don't know which 5 players are going to be put out on the floor. And obviously everybody wants to be the go-to, but the most important thing is just making sure that I knew that I could perform the way I needed to for my team.
How exciting is it too that you said we got a lot of players that are really good, so you can come off the floor, somebody else can come on in. You don't lose much, do you? Because this is about as good a depth as it feels like you've had.
Yes, definitely. That's one thing we've noticed that in practice. Right now we've got myself, Taylor Morgan, and Bella Earl all in the point guard rotation, and as of right now, there's no drop off in the games, and I think we take pride in that. When Taylor subs in for me, she goes out and she hits 2 or 3 threes. At halftime, we were talking about, other than my half court buzzer beater, we were 100%, and so we were just pumped about that. And we were like, hey, we might jinx ourselves a little bit, but we were pumped about that, just coming in, bringing the energy, and especially as point guards, we take pride in knowing how to run the offense out on the floor, making sure our teammates are where they need to be, and executing that well.
How'd it feel to play in front of fans again?
It was amazing. I know a lot of us had family in the stands tonight. During the pregame warm-up, the stands were a little empty, and we were kind of like, huh, but people showed up, and they showed up, and they were loud, and we loved it. That's one thing that Coach has talked to us about all week is, we got to get these fans hooked. We want them coming back. We need to put on a show and show them a good time, and I think we did that.
Okay, great. So obviously, win. How does it feel?
It feels awesome. We've been working really hard this summer and this off season, so it was really good to get out there and kind of put all of our hard work to use and get a good win.
So you had a pretty good WBI tournament right at the end of the season last season, and then obviously you had off season, then you came into this season. So what did you personally really want to work on going into that last off season that you wanted to bring in coming into this season?
Coming off of last season, I knew personally that I needed to lower my turnovers and read our offense better, and so in practice, that's what I've really worked on. I watched film with Coach Jameson a lot, just figuring out how to make the right reads to get people open.
So, again, as I mentioned with camp, a lot of new players on the team needing a lot of new dynamics and everything that comes with that. So how do you feel like, in your opinion, the team has been gelling so far?
Off the court and on the court, we're best friends. This is the closest I've ever been with the team. Literally the second day they got here, we all hung out and stuff, and it was oh my gosh, it's crazy, we just met. But we've gotten really close on and off the court, and I feel like we're really starting to figure each other out, and so I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, that's all for me. Yeah.
Well, I kind of want to piggyback off that a little bit. When you're out there and maybe you haven't played with some of the girls that are on the floor against competition, it may be some learning, and some growing in a situation like that. But how did you feel about that when maybe you're out there with Sarah, but then Emma's out there and you maybe haven't passed to her in a game situation like that? How'd you feel that stuff meant tonight?
Honestly, I felt like it went really well because in practice, we've been playing with a mix of different groups and stuff. And I feel like our communication's really well. And I think that's why we've been able to gel quicker, is because we communicate really well with each other.
How about those 3 grad transfers that have come in? It feels like, boy, they bring a lot of just kind of fun energy, and it really makes a place for you. What have you seen from them so far?
Leadership, and like they're like veterans. Like everyone kind of like looks to them. I know me, like being an underclassman, like me and the other sophomores and the freshmen, they're kind of like considered moms a little. They bring good leadership and communication, just that maturity that like a successful team really needs.
When you get off to a start like you did tonight, what's the excitement level now for the rest of the week, the rest of the season? It's a long way to go, but it's got to feel good to get off to a good start.
Yeah, it does feel really good. It also feels good to like have good game film so we can correct what we need to correct. And we'll start scouting for UTSA this week and get a win on Saturday.